Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Sim 9. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you all are doing great. So I came across this video. I said I must bring this here because this man is a big time joke. And he thinks, people around him do not know anything. But yeah, there are some people he can actually deceive, especially the MAGAs, because those people can defend this man with everything in them. Like they do not care. But this one came out to talk about the gas prices and groceries, how they have all reduced. And to my greatest surprise, Big Brother decided to check it all out to let you all know that each time his lips are moving, that you all already know what is going on. He is absolutely lying because nothing he says is true. And I am going to say this for the MAGAs that they convinced you people that it is make America great, and you all bought into it. Even when my people were telling you people, why do you want to make America great when it was never great for my people during that period? So is it now you think that it is going to be great? I don't know how he convinced all these MAGAs, but one thing I found out about them is that they are poorly educated, like he said. Because tell me how somebody will listen to this man. Even me would never listen to him. I am not American, but I know him already. They told you people about Project 2025. You all thought it was all a joke. It's no joke, baby. Let's get into this.
Welcome to my series, and it has a long name, so stick with me. This series is called If His Lips Are Moving, He Is Lying. And that is how you know that his supporters are either outright racist and bigots, or, in case they're in a marginalized community, they are doing the work of white supremacy for them, and they don't care about the truth. Yeah, long name, right? Let's get right into it. And these are recent remarks. One more thing before I start. Understand, I am not doing this to edify or try to teach them anything, because they know he's lying. I'm just here to laugh at it and to point them out.
Americans are seeing prices rise. They're seeing it on their bills. How long can they expect that pain to last?
So they've already seen it get much better, because if you were truthful, which you're not, I know you very well, you have gasoline that hit $1.98 yesterday in a couple of states. You have gasoline's way down. The price of...
Yeah, on the day that he announced that, there was no state that was recording gas prices at $1.98 anywhere in that state. The lowest gas price recorded was $2.19 at a station in Texas. But national gas prices are still at these levels. And you can pause and read and tell me, where do you see $1.98 anywhere? Next.
The price of groceries are substantially down.
So let's take a look at these grocery prices he's talking about. And here's my source, Supermarket News. Grocery prices for March were up 0.49% higher than they were in February. And they were 2.41% higher than they were last March. So yeah, he's living in an alternative lying reality there also.
So hard, I'll never forget the first week in office, they were screaming at me about eggs. I said, what's going on with eggs? They were doubling and tripling. I said, I just got here. They were up like double, triple, and you couldn't get any. They said, you won't have eggs for Easter. Well, you can have all the eggs you want. I'll tell you, Brooke Rollins, Secretary of Agriculture, did a great job. And the egg prices are down 87%. But nobody talks about that. You can have all...
Nobody talks about it because it's not true. If eggs were down 87%, that would mean you were only paying about 42 to 50 cents for a dozen of eggs across the United States. In actuality, egg prices continue to rise in March. They are now up 60.4% compared to March of last year. The average cost of eggs in March hit a new record high of $6.22 per dozen. So, tell me in the comment section, how much are you paying for eggs a dozen where you live?
You know, political discourse in the United States has become just not even worth having, not even worth talking about. Because what I have noticed is that we are dealing with a narcissism problem like you would not believe. A lot of selfish narcissism that passes as opinion. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Let's start with this. America has turned itself into the center of the world. They did it through manipulation and things of that nature, but they have done it. Where does that narcissism start? It starts with the fact that here in America, what passes for discourse about race, sex, sexuality, religion, politics, and things of that nature is me-centric people versus factual information. Meaning, you can bring all the graphs, the charts, and things of that nature that you want to. But motherfuckers will always go on their gut instinct. I call it IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, but what do I know? We are literally dealing with a group of people that would much rather be wrong in their own opinion than right in factual information. You can't operate a country like that. And you damn sure can't operate a world like that, which is why shit is always fucked up to begin with. Think about this for just a second. My wife, and I've made this abundantly clear, my wife is a white woman. She's so white that she's no longer claiming white. She's claiming Amazonian. She said something to me this morning that took me aback because I had never thought about it like this. What passes for conversations about feminism in America are always centered on white women. Always. The face of feminism in America is a white woman's face. Now, what happens when the face of feminism is a white woman's face? Well, everything has to then be geared towards that fucking white woman. Everything. No matter how much factual information you bring, doesn't matter. Because if it's not centered on that white woman ideology, it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't. Now you multiply that by, I don't know, half the population of the United States, we have a problem. We have a problem. Feminism becomes a cudgel rather than anything that advances anything, because the very moment that it's literally not centered on white women, everything has to blow the fuck up. Everything. I'm going to show you something else. Again, you can be mad about this, but it's true. With the arrival of Donald Trump on the scene, policies became irrelevant. It was about character. Because in Donald Trump, you have the most narcissistic fucking person ever to seek public office or win public office. The most thin-skinned narcissistic man or woman that has ever occupied a seat of power in our government. Right? That's why I said it was a character issue. For those that supported that shit, that shows more about your character than it does about any policy he's ever done or talked about doing. Because you know the shit this man has done. This is not a secret. Nobody has gotcha moments with this shit. It's public fucking knowledge. But what happened? I feel like he will be better as president. I think his policies will help me better. I think about making America great again. Where's the we in that? The rest of us got to stand off to the side because your fucking feelings about the motherfucker matter more than any factual information we had. Because if you were dealing simply on facts, that man is not fit for public office. And you would have said that, except you were thinking about you. Not us. You. When you talk about making America great again, you're talking about making America great again for you. That should be at the end of it. MAGA FY. MAGA FY. Make America great again for me. That's it. And so goes America, so goes the world. If you believe that you are the only one that is right, then it doesn't matter what anybody else says or does. You are always going to continue to believe yourself to be right. Is that not America's mentality around the world? Is that not how we deal with both our allies and our enemies? Is that not why we have done some heinous shit around the fucking planet? Is that not the essence of colonization? America literally wants the world to stop moving when they have a problem. Because when they have a problem, everybody has a fucking problem. America can feel a way, even though factual information will tell you otherwise, and America's going to operate on their feelings rather than factual fucking information. Because if they did, half the fucking wars we've been in the United States, we'd have never entered. We would have never entered. America has the narcissism that the American citizens have. And here's a little secret. It is very white-centric. Did you think it wouldn't be? This place has been cultivated, ran, operated, propped up by white folk. What the fuck makes you think they wouldn't act the same way to the world that white folks act here in America? And when you put it like that, the decisions that you make here in America make more sense to people outside of it. Oh, well, that's exactly why he did it. I'm a Christian, so I feel like my Christian faith should be magnified in the country. Fuck everybody else. I couldn't support Hillary or I couldn't support Kamala because of something that I feel is more important than every fucking thing else. Now you see why the fucking America operates as it does. Explain to me why the fuck should anybody engage with in a conversation with a motherfucker that thinks like that? Why? What purpose could you possibly get? You could have studied throughout all of American history, throughout all of world history. You could bring those facts to that person and it will not fucking matter because it's all about their fucking feelings. History? Fuck you. We don't want to hear it if it makes me feel bad. Talk about poverty? Nah, I don't want to talk about it because it might make me feel bad. Our oligarchs have taken that as gospel, and it's the reason they get more money out of our federal government than even we do. And again, so goes America, so goes the fucking world. It's disheartening that we're still at this point. It genuinely the fuck is. You would think after decades and centuries of fucking technology, centuries and decades of history, centuries and decades of factual information that has been passed down from generation to generation, you would think we'd be out of this shit by now, but we're not. We are still, here in America, as selfish as we've always been. And our selfishness is magnified when you have an entire nuclear arsenal and the most expensive military on the face of the fucking earth. It's all about what makes me feel good versus what is good for the fucking world. When we talk about character, your narcissism is the biggest character trait that we see. And again, American citizens' narcissism is reflected around the world. Why would anybody want to fucking talk to us in the first place?
This is all I got from this video, and I am going to ask, how great is America at this point in time? Because you all said it is a make America great. I remember my people asking you all, what was great about America? Are you trying to take us back to where we started from? Are you taking us back to where we, like, back to Jim Crow, back to all those days when America was really not great for Black people and other people, but most especially for Black people? And it was, they said that Black people are always ungrateful. I remember hearing them saying, you all should be very lucky that you were brought to the land of the living and the land of the goodness and the land of the honey and all that. But now I am sure everybody is seeing the Make America Great that was promised to you. And I am asking you, how far? He said the prices of fuel or gas already came down. Groceries, how far? I am asking you, how is it going at your end? How are the prices? Because it looks like he is saying something else. And what's the stores? Okay, he's saying something else with his mouth. And another thing is going on at the stores. Like Big Brother said, whenever his mouth is moving, you absolutely know that he is lying. So you all are in the season of Make America Great, and I am asking you people, how great is it? It is. Now, white supremacists covered every one of your eyes that you all never for a day thought about what this man's the regime will look like. It's not like you were not told. Black people made it clear. I'm not just only saying that, making sure that they went through their Project 2025 so that you all will see that it's no joke. In the end, Project 2025 of what is going on are almost the same thing. In fact, the same thing. So it means next time when people speak to you, especially when it comes to politics, listen to the OGs. And who are the OGs? The Black people. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.